Hey guys, welcome back to the video. Today's another fun one as I've got a Jackson's art haul today. So I've got two boxes to unbox. I've got one big one and one smaller one. Both contain very exciting things, so just let's get on with the video and open them. Okay, so here is all the goodies that I've got. So I'll just start going through them. And I've also got a surprise at the end, so make sure you stay tuned for that. So I was on Jackson's and I was just typing in samples as Sketches and Scrubs linked a really good deal for watercolours, and they were only 25p, which was amazing. And whilst I was browsing through all the samples, I also saw this Quar watercolours, and this is the granulating colours, and I did mention in my Quar review that I didn't really experience many granulating colours and I should perhaps try them. So I thought I'd get this just to try. It comes with some watercolour paper and 6 different colours, and these are granulating colours, so it'll just let me know if I like the formula or not. And for 25 pence, I mean, you can't really complain, really. And then the amazing deal that I actually got, thanks to Sketches and Scrubs, which is a YouTuber on YouTube, they were selling in the UK, Jackson's were selling Quar watercolours, 3 5mm tubes for 25 pence. Literally 25 pence, that's under £1, which is just insane. They have now since sold out because obviously people didn't realise that it was so popular. So I'll just show you the colours that come in the set. So it is a nice basic set, but 25 pence for 3 5mm artist grade paint is amazing. So we've got quinacridone magenta, a nice vibrant purple, ultramarine blue, and nickel azo yellow, and it comes in this nice little box as well, which is always cute. So we'll swatch them at the end of the video. And then I also got, because I really want to get into plein air painting, and I've bought some exciting things to go along with that. Now this is a ceramic palette, so obviously it's not ideal for plein air, but it's so tiny and it comes in this nice little metal box. So I thought maybe this could be good for plein air painting, as long as I'm just careful and mindful that it's in my kit. So this is the Etchalab ceramic palette, and it's a bit of a squeeze to get out. So it comes with like a little swatch card, and they offer 2 options, and I chose the slightly larger wells, so you get less colours for space, but you get more space in your wells, which I thought I'd prefer. I may end up getting the smaller one as well. It just depends on how quickly I feel like I go through the paint. So it comes with like a little protector, and then the only thing is it's difficult to get out. Let's just flip it. So it comes with all the wells in there, I think 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 19 wells. And then obviously you've got a little mixing palette underneath. So the reason that I was attracted to it is because with travel palettes, obviously you're limited on mixing space, but this one actually has 7 individual wells for mixing colours, which could be really useful, because if you mix on a large plain surface with no grooves, all of the colours tend to flow into each other if you're not careful. So I thought I'd give that a go. And it comes in its nice little case, which is also cute. And then to go along with the plein air painting as well, I'll just open this, it'll be a bit noisy. Now I believe these are traditionally used for oil painting. You fill it up with your linseed oil or mixer, whatever you use for oil painting. But a lot of watercolour artists and plein air ones use it also for water, for when they're out plein air painting. So I thought I'd grab one. They're quite deep wells. You can obviously see there, they're quite deep. And then it's got this clip on the back, which is for clipping onto things. So I thought that'd be nice and useful as well. If I just take a water bottle and then I can just tip some in, and I've got one for cleaning the bushes and one for obviously fresh water. So that was, I think that was only about £2-3, something like that, which is a good deal. And then on the sample section as well, because I do like acrylic painting, I don't do it super often, but when I do, I enjoy it. I got the Golden Acrylics Ultramarine Blue, and this is 30ml, and this was in the sample selection again, and again it was 25p, so amazing value really. And then I also got a few restocks of my Daniel Smith colours, because I would say Daniel Smith is probably my favourite watercolour brand. I've been using it the longest. The first professional brand I used was Schminker, and then I moved on to Daniel Smith, and I do prefer Daniel Smith over Schminker, but both are beautiful brands anyway. So basically I got a few restocks. I got Opera Pink. The Daniel Smith version is really granulating compared to other ones that I've tried, such as Holbein or Schminker. So all are beautiful. It just depends on what kind of technique or effect you want, really. Sometimes I prefer Schminker for like a flat wash of colour, and sometimes I prefer Daniel Smith because it has that granulating effect. It just depends on what you're using it for. So I got a restock of that. I also got a restock of Phthalo Blue Turquoise. Now, I tend to use this in place of PG7. I can't remember the actual name of it. I just remember it's PG7, which is quite an intense greeny blue, and people use it a lot for mixing. I use Phthalo Blue Turquoise as I always find the green mixes a bit too intimidating. It's too green and too green leaning for me. So I always opt for Phthalo Blue Turquoise. And the reason I like Daniel Smith is because obviously you can get Phthalo Blue Turquoise kind of colour mixes, but they normally contain multiple pigments. But the Daniel Smith one, let me just check. Yeah, so it's a single pigment and it's PB16, so it's not multiple pigments, which is great because if you're into mixing colours, it means it'll just create brighter mixes. They're less likely to be muddy. So that's one of my favourites. I always use it. And then when I'm painting, I tend to use New Gamboge or like a Cadmium Yellow Deep, something more warm tone leaning and more deep. But I have also bought Daniel Smith Hansa Yellow Light, and that's just for mixing purposes really. I rarely use a cool yellow, like lemon yellow or something like that. But I recently saw, I think I got an email from Art Toolkit, and they basically had 6 colours, and they made a palette using just 6 colours, and obviously they had a warm yellow and a cool yellow. So I wanted to recreate that with the demi palette, and the one that I prefer is Hansa Yellow Light compared to something like a lemon yellow. So that's why I picked up that one. And then I also got, this is a new colour to me, I've never tried it before, but I bought Naples Yellow. And I just thought it'd be pretty for making nice peachy tones. I've never used this colour before, hence why I only got it in a 5ml. That's what I tend to do. If I'm buying a new colour that I've not used before, I'll get the 5ml tube instead of the 15. And then if I use it all up, great. When I next purchase it, I'll then opt for the 15ml because I know that I like it and I'll save money. But a lot of the time I buy watercolours, and certain colours I just don't like. I don't like them in my palette. They're just not colours that I would use for mixing purposes, which is obviously wasteful if you buy a 15ml tube. So learning from mistakes, I now only get 5ml tubes when buying new colours, unless I'm absolutely positive that I'm going to enjoy that colour, such as buying Opera Pink from different brands. So that's all the paints I've got. And then the last thing, which is the exciting item, is this big one. Now I'm really excited for this. This was an expensive purchase. I obviously treated myself. I'll just open it. So here it is. This is to help me with my plein air painting, and also I do go around my mum's a lot and visit her, and I always like to take art stuff, and I just don't have a bag to put them in, so I thought this would be good for that as well. But this is the Etcher Slate Mini. So you can see, I don't know if you can see that, but there's the little logo thing. I was researching for ages whether to buy the Slate Mini or the Slate. They're both exactly the same bag, except the Slate is bigger. But in the end, just carrying capacity, obviously the Slate is better, but they're both similar-ish in weight. Obviously the Mini is a bit lighter, so I decided to go for the Mini just for carrying ease. I thought it would be easier to transport, and also I did read some reviews and I think you can still fit A4 in this. So let's just have a look inside and see what it's like. Okay guys, so I've just put little dots on the page of each colour. So starting with Phthalo Blue Turquoise, I'm using my Princeton flat brush watercolour. As you can see, this is it's just such a beautiful colour. When I first started using watercolour, I didn't use it because you've got to be careful because colours like this really overtake mixes if you use too much of it. But now that I've been watercolouring for a while, I'm a bit more experienced with how to use it and how to create beautiful mixes. So this is the Daniel Smith Hansa Yellow Light. Again, I don't tend to use cool yellows that much, but if I do for mixing purposes, this is the one I'll opt for. So really pigmented, really bright, nice cool yellow. Then next to that, I've got the Naples Yellow, which is brand new to me. I've not used this colour before in any brand, I think, and it's more opaque. I think this one might contain a PW pigment, which is white. So colours that contain white tend to be more opaque. So yeah, I think this will make beautiful peaches. Just from looking at it and swatching it out like that, I think it'll end up looking beautiful. It might even make a pretty mix when mixed with the Opera Pink. Let's try that. Let's just paint this out and then slightly merge them a bit. So this is Daniel Smith's Opera Pink as well. And hopefully you'll be able to see the granulating properties of it. As like I say, compared to others that I've tried, this one is definitely more granulating. And then, I mean, that's already flawed a bit in there. Let me clean my brush off a bit. Yeah, just a nice soft pinky peach. That's really pretty. So yeah, that'll be fun to make fun mixes with. Let's just let that all merge into there and see what happens. So these are the core colours, starting with Quinacridone Magenta. Now, core paints are so vibrant and so saturated. They really are impactful paints, and obviously they have that high flow rate as they have their own unique binder, which is always exciting. So you can see this is just super vibrant. Now, I'm not really a fan of Daniel Smith's Quinacridone Magenta, as it's a bit more, it's not as vivid, it's more dull compared to other mixes that I've used. And Quar is definitely one of the brighter Quinacridone Magentas that I've tried. So over Daniel Smith, I definitely use Quar's Quinacridone Magenta. So this is the Nickel Azo Yellow, which is a beautiful pigment. A lot of watercolour brands add this to P48 to make a Quinacridone Gold mixture as well, which is one of my favourite colours. To be honest, I tend not to use Nickel Azo Yellow by itself. I have got it in other brands as well. I think I've got the Daniel Smith version as well. I just never know how to mix it. So if you've got any tips, let me know, because obviously I've got tubes laying around and a new one from Quar that I just never use because I don't know how. Then this is the Quar Ultramarine Blue, and you can really see the vibrancy of the colours. Like, they're so intense. Obviously these are being used wet. I just put little dollops on the page from each brand, but they're so pigmented and so vibrant. We'll see if there's any colour shift as they dry, as sometimes with watercolours and gouache actually, as they dry they can dry more dull and less vivid. So that'll be interesting to see as well. So that's all the watercolour paints. And then for the last one, I have got the golden acrylic paint as well. Obviously, I didn't put a blob of this on the page because acrylic paint dries so fast. It'd probably be half dry by the time I got to swatching it. So let's see. The acrylic paint brands I tend to use is golden. I also have Liquitex, but between the two, I do prefer golden, just as they're a bit more opaque. Ultramarine blue is quite a transparent colour anyway in most of the acrylic brands, and I've added a lot of water so you can see it more washed out, but it's still nice and vibrant. Definitely more transparent, but that's to be expected in acrylics really, when it's ultramarine blue. So yeah, that's a really pretty colour as well. Obviously both ultramarines together. So let me know what you think. Which is your favourite colour? These two stand out to me the most. The quinacridone magenta stands out, but I could have added more water because it's so intense there. It would have been fun to see more of a washed out version. Shall we do that? Shall we wash it out a bit to see? So yeah, you can see, you can kind of drag the colour and it creates just a softer blend there. So you don't have to use them super saturated. If you wanted to do some layers, you can have some more washout colours as well. So yeah, that's super pretty there. And you can already see with the Daniel Smith Opera Pink that it's starting to granulate already. So what I'll do is I'll let these all dry so we can see all of the effects that the paints have when dry. And then we'll just do a little roundup of everything we've got. Okay guys, so here's the swatches all dry. Let me know if you can see much of a colour shift yourself. I think they have dulled slightly, but it'll be much easier to tell on the actual video, so make sure to let me know. I also swatched the Quar watercolours, and as you can see, the chromium oxide green obviously is really granulating, but the rest don't seem to granulate by themselves much. So maybe in mixes they'll granulate more. The two colours that really stood out, they're really pretty, is the Darylide Yellow and Pyrrole Red Medium. I hope I'm saying that right, but those colours look really pretty. I'm quite intrigued by them, especially the yellow tone. So that's everything I got. The main thing I'm really excited for is obviously the big purchase I made, which is the Etchalab Slate Mini. I'm really excited for this case. It feels really high quality and really sturdy. So make sure to like and subscribe to the channel if you're excited to also find out what I think of the Etchalab Slate Mini and see my own plein air kit and what I decide to put in my kit and everything. So yeah, make sure to subscribe if you're interested in seeing that, and obviously more painting videos and reviews. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye guys.